Justin Baldoni may have become more famous through his controversy with Blake Lively, but many unknown and wild facts about him make him stand out, even in his legal battle with Blake. Justin Baldoni has been acting for a long time, and many people got to know him from Jane the Virgin before the It Ends With Us drama. Interestingly, Justin had a different career path before he went into acting, and that was in sports. Justin was outshining in sports and athletic games. He was so excellent at sports that he secured a scholarship to California State University for 2 sports, track and soccer. Justin was on his way to becoming an athletic star before quitting due to injuries, and his dedication to sports at the time is still very noticeable in his life as an actor. He has learned the patience, discipline, and competitive drive that comes with athletics. His work ethic and knowing exactly when to strike, especially in his lawsuit with Blake Lively, has shown he can be quiet but very strategic in his plans. However, his transition from a sports person to an actor is shocking but impressive, and his ability to maintain his focus even in his acting career path shows how much the sports world has prepared him for the entertainment industry. Unfortunately, though, his former sports career has also impacted his acting career negatively, which many people don't know. One of Blake's most famous complaints about Justin while working on set is the issue of fat shaming. Blake felt fat shamed because Justin wanted to know her weight for a lifting scene to protect his back from further injuries, as he's been battling back problems for years. When It Ends With Us started filming in 2023, Justin was still in a lot of pain, even though he was undergoing treatment. And what people aren't aware of is that Justin got severely injured from playing sports. The actor suffers from a herniated disc, which means a spinal disc moving out of place or broken open, and this has led to reoccurring excruciating back pain for Justin. But that's not all, because Justin has endured so much more, ranging from a damaged meniscus and cartilage in both of his knees to arthritis in his shoulder. These injuries, which he never fully recovered from, were reasons he left sports and dropped out of college. Considering all of these injuries and pains, Justin has been investing heavily in treatments, and he once revealed that he received groundbreaking stem cells and peptide treatments. One of the doctors who has been helping Justin overcome his back problems, Dr. Adil Khan, showed just how terrifying Justin's pains are, saying, "When Justin came to see me, he had been suffering from chronic pain for years. Looking at him, no one would have ever imagined someone as physically fit as he was actually in pain. Through a combination of stem cells and peptides, I was able to help Justin move and stretch like he hadn't in years." Long before this recent back treatment started in October 2023, the same year It Ends With Us began to film, and Blake felt body shamed because Justin was taking precautionary measures before lifting her. He couldn't stretch or sit on his heels since his early 20s. So it was essential for him to ask about Blake's weight for the lifting scene so he wouldn't relapse, as he was actively undergoing regenerative therapy for all of his injuries at the time. Another interesting thing to note is that Justin asked Blake's personal trainer for this information, which came from a professional, private, and health-related angle. Still, it was misunderstood and caused Ryan to berate Justin for that heavily. Justin Baldoni is happily married to his wife, Emily Foxler, a Swedish actress whom he proposed to in a 27-minute video that went viral. But before then, they had some early struggles in their relationship whereby Justin was too expressive in the way he loved her, which she absolutely detested at the beginning.
Because I could tell that in his big gestures, showing me how much he loves me, that's okay. There's also beauty in him expressing love in his way.
Justin enjoyed going over the top, bombing her with gifts, and letting people know just how much he adored Emily. It was an extraordinary type of love language for Emily to accept.
But he was also big on love in general. Like, he wanted to be close. He wanted to show people that we were at parties together, and he wanted to show the world how much he loved me, and he wanted to show me how much he loved me.
Emily continued to narrate how Justin was consistently love-bombing her by leaving gifts on her car, little notes or a little stuffed frog, writing her spoken words and poems that were just too overwhelming for her, who understood love gestures should be small.
It could have been really cute. Nothing wrong with what you did. But we were on 2 different pages when we were dating. So I was over here, he was over here. I needed something over here, he needed different things.
Emily revealed this situation made them super awkward together, and she wasn't 100% sure about him, but Justin was over the top and knew they should be together. She tried to push him away many times because she struggled to accept this person who was so different from her, but Justin kept trying even harder to prove to Emily they were meant for each other.
And we'll get into this. I was also not easy. I was giving him a lot of attitude. A lot of things that I did wasn't fair.
Emily recalled how Justin had publicly performed a spoken word for her with other women swooning and wishing they could have someone do that for them. But Emily was just so done after that.
And I was just dying inside because I was like, dude, you don't get me.
After all this, Justin never backed down as he went the extra mile to make a groundbreaking proposal to Emily to show the world he would do anything for her. It's so surprising to see how much Justin has grown to be all sweet and holy with his wife. He went through a very different phase where he was a playboy, which is evident in his role as Raphael in Jane the Virgin and the reason why he was the best person to play Ryle in It Ends With Us. With his playboy aura or looks, Justin has undergone a lot to become a better person for himself and everyone around him. However, one of the actions that broke him and made him a playboy who felt he couldn't be any better was his experience with his ex-girlfriend where he was sexually traumatized. Justin opened up about the abusive relationship he had with an ex in college. While attending California State University, Justin met a beautiful young lady he started dating to fill a void where he didn't feel he was enough. However, Justin ended up losing himself to the relationship, and he explained saying, "And it was a very bad relationship, and I contorted myself and my personality to be what she wanted. I had strong values, opinions, and beliefs going in, which were easily manipulated and reshaped to the point where I completely lost any sense of self that I had left a few months in, and it got very emotionally abusive." Sadly enough, the situation soon expanded to sexual trauma consistently in the hands of the ex, and Justin repeatedly battled about it because he felt a man couldn't suffer such an incident at the hands of a woman, which is how society has conditioned it. Before the relationship, Justin was hoping to save himself for marriage, even though the world makes it seem like it should be the other way around. However, he was forced into doing things he didn't want. The real battle for Justin was struggling with accepting that a woman could take advantage of him at the time, but he began to heal after undergoing therapy. One day, my therapist asked me a very simple question. She said, "Justin, you do much work in this space. If a woman told you that story, what would you call it?" And that's when I broke. Despite how depressing this story turned out for Justin, it gave him the courage to leave the relationship, drop college, and move to LA to become an actor. Another traumatizing event in Justin's life was his addiction to indecent film content, and he was unfortunately introduced to it at a very young age. Being introduced that early to the indecent content affected Justin and got him confused and addicted to the point that he constantly used it to deal with life pressures. He said, "I sought refuge in it when I felt alone or when I felt abandoned or when I felt hurt because it was a dopamine rush. I found myself over the course of my life going back to looking at images and videos of naked women when I was feeling necessarily bad about myself." However, he was also aware that he was consuming content that wasn't healthy for him. Still, he couldn't find it in him to stop until he started to learn that such content is harmful to women because it teaches a different perception of intimacy. Justin Baldoni enjoys reading books, and his story changed when he picked up Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us.
By the end of the book, I couldn't even read the text on the page because I was crying so much. My wife was in bed next to me, and she's, I got snot coming out of my nose. And then I read the reason why Colleen wrote the movie. It was for her mother, who had a real life experience like this. She was Lily Bloom.
However, one thing about Justin is that he's not just a reader, but also a New York Times best-selling author. Justin has written 2 books that have continued to shake the literary world. In 2021, he published his first book, Man Enough: Undefining My Masculinity. This memoir goes into detail to discuss vulnerability to relationships, body image, and being a man in the present world. He spilled a lot in the book, which people loved and commented on, and that was how he became a best-selling author with his debut book. However, Justin picked up his pen again in 2022 and released Boys Will Be Human, a direct message to all young boys and their growing experiences. From self-esteem and communication to sensitive subjects that boys are navigating, Justin opened up as a beam of light and comfort in the book. Before Justin Baldoni's controversy with Blake Lively, not many people knew he sported a man bun for many years as his iconic hairstyle. However, Ryan Reynolds and Blake thought it would be funny to have a character, Nice Pool, mimic Justin down to the hair in Deadpool. However, they weren't aware of the emotional story beyond the hairstyle Justin used to have. Justin dedicated 4 years to growing out his hair, which he wore in a man bun, for the sole purpose of cutting it for a good cause. He shared the process behind how he did this on his Instagram account in 2023. The video started with Justin's children cutting his hair shorter before being taken over by a professional stylist. As the hair was being cut, Justin took the time to explain to his kids the reason behind it, as he told them he would be donating the hair to a charity called Locks of Love. This charity organization focuses on providing custom wigs to disadvantaged kids battling hair loss due to many medical reasons. As Justin sat in the chair with his hair divided into ponytails, he explained to his son why he was cutting the hair he had grown for 4 years. Justin said, "The reason you're cutting it like that, baby, is because daddy's gonna donate his hair to somebody who can't grow their hair, because maybe they got cancer like Uncle Zach, or they lost their hair." To make a good custom wig, the hair had to be cut carefully, and when it was done, Justin became very emotional, not because he was letting go of his hair, but because it would be going to someone who needed it. So, unlike many people would have assumed, Justin's man bun was a seed of labor, love, and strength, which is why it was sad seeing how Ryan made fun of it through Nice Pool. Many people are aware that Justin owns a popular podcast named Man Enough, where he's changing the narrative on what masculinity is believed to be and having the challenging discussions men avoid. But before any of this, Justin had a head start in media, as he worked at a radio station in high school. All the experiences and skills he picked up at the radio station are one of the reasons he has made a successful podcast, which is another essential part of his life that Ryan mocked him for in Deadpool. When Justin wanted to adapt It Ends With Us into a film, he was looking for a story that would impact and change lives, which he found when he read the book. He wanted to give DV survivors and people who are still struggling in the cycle hope, courage, and help to always choose themselves and break free. But despite this film going on to be a success and even giving rise to the controversy that started on set, it wouldn't be the first time Justin would pour his heart into a heartfelt story. Justin showed off his creative skills with the documentary My Last Days, which showcases the story of real people living with terminal illnesses. But instead of focusing on sadness and pity, Justin shifted to celebrating life, resilience, and the human spirit. Justin approached the story with respect and genuine compassion, and the documentary has changed lives by teaching us to view mortality differently, to live life to the fullest. Justin has also dedicated his life to a unique religion many people don't know about. He was born and raised in the Baha'i faith. Interestingly, his parents initially were from different faiths, with his father, Sam, who was Irish Catholic, and his mother, Sharon, who was Ashkenazi Jewish. However, they both identify with the Baha'i faith and brought Justin up to follow those beliefs. Justin once mentioned how his faith guides him. Through God, we are told to not rely on the external or superficial for joy and serenity, and while no one is perfect at that, it's an incredible guiding light. The religion was founded by Baha'u'llah in Persia, now known as Iran. Baha'u'llah's eldest son, Abdul Baha, made a statement that Justin now has tattooed on his arm. The quote reads, "Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time." Justin has always followed this mantra in his career and life. Having it on his arm reminds him of where his commitment lies. Amid the legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, Justin has been getting a lot of support from the public and popular commentators. But despite all of these, the actor revealed the situation has brought him emotional distress and anxiety. Although he denied Blake's accusations against him, he admitted that it had drained him emotionally and financially.